That's that enough. I don't follow theory, but folks, this world is not quite what you think it is. And I know this could come with some repercussions, but here's what's happening. You all know about the recent information that's been in Congress. You all know about that. You know about the ongoing discussions to bring forward some very critical information that tells of man's history here on this earth, which is nothing like you thought it was. You guys know about the car that runs on water 1,000 miles. It'll get 1,000 miles per tank of water. That's 2,000 horsepower. That's different energy. You all know about the new house units that are coming out. That will cause your entire house to run, right? Which will limit your light bill down to probably about, for the box itself, it's going to be about $90 a month or less. And it will run a 400 amp. Each house will run $400 or 400 amps at 240 volts, right? And that's coming to you guys too. Why? Because the entire financial system, everything in civilization is being upgraded. All of it is being, you could say, forced to a degree by both the Middle East, changes in the Middle East. We're not talking about war. We're not talking about foreign policy, but changes in the Middle East beyond the control of Western powers. And we have a lot of older people in government who are going away, right? They're going away. You guys are going to find out that the people who have been suppressing change with people because they really thought people could not handle it. And we're going to find out here in COT just how well people handle or not truth, right? You guys know about the transportation system. It's going to be changing big time. But you also know about certain mega changes that are taking place in the earth, right? You know about the information that's coming forward from a guild, I guess you could say, of geologists and scientists. These are the guys who make things happen. And all of a sudden, they're coming forth with information that they have on giants and mountains and all sorts of things. But try not to jump ahead. They're coming out with this because the earth is undergoing changes. And the ancient world is not so ancient anymore, right? Let me give you an example of something. You guys know about those folks who said that the face huggers, snatchers, whatever they call them, were terrorizing these people, right? Well, you know, some new photographs. Well, I'll say not photographs, but some new video coverage is coming out. Certain individuals have been trying to suppress that video coverage coming out, and they had to be very careful with this. But it's coming out. Why? Because that information is not classified at all. At all. It was not minors. Here, part of the information is this. Some of the minors that were trying to, some of these people who were trying to suppress, scared these people away. The Navy got rid of those individuals, seized their equipment. There were no, jetpacks or anything else among that, right? None of that was there, but they do have something else. They actually have something else. Also, Homeland Security, lots of liaisons from different countries showed up, right, in Peru in an attempt to appease the people somehow. But this is an ongoing issue. Also, this issue is not new. This issue started about 600 years ago, according to their own culture and history. So a lot is coming forward. And these people are being talked to in more than one way. So you hear this public side, or I'll say the internet side of things, but there's a whole different side, right? And it's not going to be suppressed from the people. That will get out. They don't want the people in Peru to have heart attacks, but they can avoid that. That's going to be an issue. That's going to be something people are going to have to cope with. But there's something else you're going to have to cope with. The new technologies that have been in development are about to be commercialized. Nobody saw that one coming. Well, some of you guys did. But some of the new technology is going to be quite common to you guys, right? Some of the contributions of the scientific breakthroughs of CERN, they're going to be using that. One of the main reasons CERN is doing what it's doing is they're trying to mimic something they already have. And they are, well, let's say they've done it pretty much. Okay. Now, as far as most of those theories, like they're trying to open gates and this, that, they need not do that. Gates are open already, just in case you haven't noticed, which is going to be part of our study tonight. Everybody on earth, if you notice, they're being somewhat preserved for something. I'll say this. I'm not scaring anybody, but I'll say this. The Bible isn't joking when it says, during the end times, at a specific time, men will seek death, but will not find it. They will, desire to die, but death will flee from them. In other words, and another time it speaks and it says, the living will envy the dead. Well, everybody thinks it's going to be this awesome future, right? The degradation of many religious beliefs are going to collapse almost overnight. People will not be able to handle the type of culture that's coming fast and furious. Certain lies are going to be found out. The people you guys are familiar with, their stories are coming out. You will not like them. I'm going to just cushion it a little bit. You're not going to like what comes out about your favorite folks. You're not. You're not. You're really not. But it's one of those necessary things, because the Lord doesn't want his people fooled, right? And how many of you have been fooled before? Many of you have been fooled. Everybody has an example in their lives when they were tricked, right, by someone close. The Lord does not want us to ever go through anything like that. So that's going to be revealed, right? The little hunt that they're having in Hawaii, you're about to learn the truth of that. And it is still connected to an individual who is, some of these actors, I'll put it this way, some of these actors and media moguls are in fact some of the top tier individuals in this world. And it really pays to understand the money system, why they do what they do, right? It's also going to pay you guys, some of you younger folks, start listening to the pleas, to the cries of your favorite artists. Start doing that. You have people out there crying to get out of what they got into. And they're trying to warn everybody they can. They are. But I have to warn you, they're going to seem crazy and ludicrous and out of their minds. If they seem crazy, you might want to listen to them. If they seem sober and everybody likes them, right? Those are the very people who are stuck, and they are ruthless at their core. But if they are being thrust aside, if they seem a bit loony, you might want to listen to them, young folks, right? Listen to them, not to their immoral things, but their cry to get out. You might want to listen to them. You might want to do it quickly, because you may not know this, but the same thing that has them trapped is hovering over your head. Through a person's immoral secret things they practice. A lot of people have become complicit with the desires of darkness. You've come into a type of an agreement with darkness every time you do something in this world that your Father would not approve of. As a consequence of that, the chains have become pretty big, but they're about to become very obvious, right? Demonic entities. A demonic entity, and I have to say this is my opinion. All these aliens, right? This UFO stuff, all it is the same old characters under a different disguise, attempting to do the same thing. These demonic entities that people deal with, these evil spirits, period, in the earth, that sneak around, that seem to be lost, that portray themselves to be children or loved ones. They are the same characters who followed Satan a long time ago. The same ones. And just wrapped up in a different package. They're doing the exact same thing. They come in the exact same way. An intelligent species. First of all, mankind is somewhat intelligent. But when you go out to see animals, you like to see them. You don't want to hide behind a bush and see them. You want to see them. You want to be up close and personal, right? You want to really see what they look like, interact, and this, that, and the other. If you go and go to a different country, you want to interact with society, see what people are about. You want to interact, right? You don't sneak around corners. That's what murderers do. People who murder people sneak around corners. People who rob people sneak around corners, right? They show up in the darkness. You're children of the light, not the darkness. Correct? So then that means most of your desires, on the good side of you, most of your desires are bound in the light. You do what you do in the light. You don't sneak around. You certainly don't seduce. Now, in your sinful ways, you were in the night. You did what you did in secret. You had to have the greatest impact upon everybody around you to catch them off guard so that you could somehow control the situation, right? When a person is in the world, they learn the art of manipulation, period. They do. It's almost like when darkness comes, the mischievous side of people arises, and they start doing mischievous things. Well, guess what? An intelligent species would want nothing from us, correct? If they were truly intelligent, they would know all about us. They wouldn't need anything from us, right? They wouldn't need a thing. Nobody would need anything from us. If they were old, they would monitor us and keep us from doing certain things, or certain things that just would not happen. If they were old, right, and they were truly another species, they still operate under the same creator, so they would have a different moral set, right? They don't. These things are sneaky, right? You guys are going to find out when things are declassified even further, that one of the reasons they didn't want people to know about UFOs and all these things, because there were about 5 different interactions that took place. See, some people think they're nice and charming and all this, that, and the other. Other people have seen body parts in the craft, right? They know for a fact that these things manipulate life forms. Mankind manipulates life forms, right? Not just last year. There were 4 human chimpanzee hybrids in the earth. Probably much more now. But this is just an example. Before that, there were still hybrids in the earth. There's a kangaroo human hybrid in the earth. A chimpanzee human hybrid in the earth. There are a bunch of pig human hybrids in the earth. A bunch of them. There are lots of different hybrids, right?
Mira, güey, se nos queda Se nos quedan viendo como que nos van a chingar.
Mire.
Somos amigos.
Esa de medio es como que...
Voló algo, güey.
Ahí.
¿Ah, que sí?
Abajo. A ver, vamos a ver aquí abajo, vente poco.
Amigos, ¿fueron testigos de eso?
¿Vieron eso?
Por andar viendo los toros, güey.
Una sombra.
En las vacas.
Uy.
¿Qué voló ahí?
Uy, güey, vente.
Algo voló, güey.
Y ahí salió. Mira la luz.
Sí, hay una luz ahí.
Va saliendo una luz. ¿Qué pedo?
No sé, se ven las luces.
Esa luz que va saliendo de ahí.
Acabamos de ver algo volando, amigos. No era un gato montés. Era algo de negro volando, güey.
Mira. Mira, ven.
¿Qué pedo?
Ven, mira. Esa luz que está ahí al frente.
Hay una luz ahí. ¡Ay! Oye, ¿no sería eso?
Yo creo que sí, güey. Sí, es igual a lo que se vio, amigos, ¿sí o no?
Mira.
Uy, güey, no mames. Esa
¿Qué
madre,
onda, güey? Esa madre fue lo que voló, güey.
No, pero aquí está.
Mira, otra. No manches.
Buenas noches. Uy, güey.
Le hace bien feo, tú.
¿Van para allá o qué? Ay.
¿Vieron eso, amigos? ¿Fueron testigos de eso? O subió volando o subió escalando, güey.
No sé, pero salió. Es que
Pero fue
cuidando las.
muy rápido,
animales,
¿no?
acá que no fueran a aventarse uno. Mira. Vamos a ver, vamos a seguir. Vente.
Amigos, voló una bruja o subió escalando, no sé.
Hay una.
¿Aquí, verdad?
Aquí. No estaría aquí el agua o qué pedo, pero. Miren.
Qué raro, güey.
Vamos a seguir esas, mira. Pues vienen para acá, ¿qué pedo?
¿Sí, no? Pero como que traen fuego, no sé.
Sí, traen entre las manos, pues, vente.
Voy. Ahí la hace bien feo, tú. Como si le estuvieran haciendo algo, ¿no?
Pero nadie me está haciendo nada, me está rezando ahora. Oye, se ve por ahí. Uy, no manches,
No manches. Todavía sigo impresionado. Se me cortó.
¿Se te cortó?
Sí.
Ahí tenemos para atrás entonces, para que no se corte. Ahí vienen para acá como quieran.
¡Ay!
¡Ay, cabrón! ¿Qué fue aquí? ¡Ey! Aquí está otra arriba, Está otra arriba ya. Está en arriba. Mira.
Se me cortó.
Estamos rodeados, Mira, esa es la que subió. Mira. Esa fue la que subió. ¿Qué pasó?
No sé, no lo grabé, güey. Se me cortó.
Aguas. Mira, acá viene. Acá vienen los otros también. Mira.
Mira. Mira, esa fue la que subió. Ernesto. Vean eso, amigos. ¿Qué onda? ¡A la bestia! ¡Ahora, güey! Voy. ¿Dónde?
Aguas, van a aventar piedra. Ahí están, ahí están. Ahí están, ahí están. La otra.
Ahí está arriba. Ahí está arriba. ¿Qué pedo?
¿No se ve?
No. Aguas, aguas.
Uy, ahí está la otra,
¿Qué dice?
Que lo saque.
Ventana.
Ah, esa fue la que subió, ¿no?
Sí, güey.
Ahí viene, güey, para arriba.
No manches. ¿Qué pedo?
Está.
¿Dónde?
Aquí abajo, aquí está. ¿Pero la otra dónde está?
Pues estaba arriba.
Esa fue la que subió ahí.
Sí. Mira.
Ahí está la otra.
¡No nos atinaste! No manches, güey.
¿Dónde está la otra?
Ahí está.
Esa fue la que subió, amigos, miren.
Esa fue la que subió volando.
Esa fue la que subió ahí. Esa fue la que subió ahí.
¿Ah, que sí?
Hijo de su, ya se descargó esta cosa. Miren, ahí va. Allá va.
Estamos rodeados, tú. Y mejor nos vamos, mejor antes de que nos cierren el paso, güey.
¡Vamos por ellos!
Sí, va.
Arriba.
¡Ay, cabrón! Nos van a rodear con la otra, ¿verdad? Por acá. Por acá, irá. ¿Dónde andas? Ya subí. ¿Eh? ¿Me voy para abajo? ¡Ahí viene, güey! ¡Córrele! ¡Ay, hijo de su pinche madre, güey! ¡Dale por abajo, güey! Voy por abajo. No manches, estuvo cerca. ¿Qué pedo? ¿Dónde andas? Amigos, acabamos de grabar una bruja volando en vivo indirecto. Impresionante, amigos. Ahí van las vacas, los toros. Protéjanme. Yo creo que también se asustaron, güey, porque van en chinga. O chulo, no sé si sea vaca o sea toro. ¡Me va a atacar el toro! No sé si sea toro o vaca.